Tracy, let me start with a story. It's October 1999. Halloween is just around the corner, and for a company like Hershey's, this is the most important time of the year. Warehouses are stocked, retailers have placed their orders, a brand new ERP system has just gone live. And suddenly, they can't ship products. Orders aren't reaching customers. Inventory information is inconsistent. And by the end of the season, Hershey reportedly loses around $100 million in sales. How does something like that happen?
Most people think IT projects fail because the technology fails. But that's rarely the reason. Projects fail because execution slowly drifts away from the original intent. Planning says one thing, development builds something slightly different, testing validates something else. Management sees a dashboard that looks green. But by the time anyone realizes these pieces don't align, people also don't align, it's already too late.
And Jesse, Hershey wasn't an isolated case. Lidl invested almost 500 million euros over 7 years trying to modernize the system with SAP. Again, the system wasn't the issue. The implementation slowly moved further and further away from the way Lidl actually ran its business. Every customization solved one problem, but introduced another one. Eventually, they abandoned the entire program.
What a costly affair. Different companies, different industries, same pattern. The technology usually works, the organization loses alignment.
Which makes me wonder, we have got Jira, we have got GitHub, we have got Confluence, we have got Slack, we have got Teams, we have got dashboards everywhere. Why are projects still going wrong?
Because those platforms were never designed to answer the bigger question. They're very good at recording activity. Jira knows a task exists, GitHub knows code was committed, Confluence stores documentation, your ERP tracks budgets. Each system does its own job extremely well, but none of them knows whether everything still lines up.
So the project manager becomes the glue.
Exactly. Well, maybe I shouldn't say exactly. The project manager becomes the integration layer. Think about a normal Monday morning, right? They're opening Jira, they're checking GitHub, reading Slack, talking to QA, updating PowerPoint presentations, preparing for a steering committee meeting. By the time leadership receives that report, it's already yesterday's news.
They are spending more time gathering information than actually making decisions.
That's what we have observed over the years. The organization already has the information. It's just scattered across 20 different places.
So, where does Atlas fit into this?
Atlas doesn't replace Jira or GitHub or Confluence. Those are excellent tools, as I mentioned before. Atlas sits above them. Think of it as an intelligence layer that continuously connects and reconciles everything happening across your delivery ecosystem. Instead of asking 5 different systems, you ask one.
Give me an example.
Imagine you're head of engineering. You simply ask which projects are most likely to miss their delivery date, or show me every pull request that hasn't been linked to an approved requirement, or which customer projects have become unprofitable during the last month. Atlas doesn't just answer, it explains why, and every answer links back to the original evidence. If it references a Jira issue, you can open it. If it mentions a GitHub pull request, you can inspect it. If it summarizes documentation, you can jump straight to the Confluence page. That's important because enterprise AI shouldn't ask people to trust the answer blindly. It should make verification effortless.
So, Shasi, earlier you used the word reconciliation. I think that's really the key idea.
Yes, I think so too. Every project creates thousands of individual activities, requirements, user stories, code commits, pull requests, test cases, timesheets, and most importantly, invoices. Atlas continuously asks one simple question: do these things still agree with each other? Because if they don't, your project is already drifting.
And that's where the ATX IDs come in, right?
Yes, every piece of work receives an ATX identifier. That means requirements, development, testing, the documentation, time, billing, all become part of one continuous chain. Nothing exists in isolation anymore.
So, if a developer marks something as complete, does Atlas immediately knows whether the supporting evidence exists or not?
Yes, has code actually been committed? Has QA started? Were the tests completed? Has the expected effort been logged? If something doesn't reconcile, Atlas highlights it while the project is still moving, not 3 weeks later during a postmortem.
This feels like one of those AI applications that immediately makes practical sense.
Yeah, I think so too. Modern projects generate far too much information for humans to continuously reconcile. Humans are excellent at judgment, right? They're excellent at solving difficult problems. But asking someone to constantly compare thousands of requirements, comments, documents, tests, financial records, that's exactly the kind of work AI should be doing, right? Then people can focus on decisions instead of administration.
So, Atlas isn't really another project management tool.
No, I would call it a project intelligence platform. It gives everyone, from developers to delivery managers to the CEO, a trusted view of what's actually happening. Not what somebody typed into a status report, but what's happening across every connected system in real time.
So, which brings us back to Hershey and Little. Neither project fails because people weren't working hard. They failed because nobody had continuous visibility into whether planning, execution, and reality were still aligned.
Yeah, I guess so. And that's the problem Atlas is trying to solve. Because successful projects aren't created by better status reports. They are created when everyone, from engineering to leadership, is working from the same version of the truth.